Oh, well, have we gone to sleep in this theater? Yes. My goodness, let's try that again. Good morrow, lords and ladies.
Good morrow.
Much better. Are you excited for some Shakespeare this day? Yes. Truly, there must be some level of excitement that is bound to be pulled free of you this day. Are you ready for Shakespeare?
Yes.
Better. I would hate to think that the third graders who joined us yesterday would have more enthusiasm than all of you. There were not nearly as many of them, and they were far louder. You're saving your voices an apt story every time. Now then, good gentles, I am Dame Catherine of Lyonesse, and I am here to help host this entire event for you, along with my slightly annoying and somewhat loud and obnoxious counterpart, who hopefully will forget to come. But in the meantime, I have been presented with rules that I must relay to all of you upon the use of this very fine theatre. And it is a fine theatre, is it not?
Yes.
They have been very generous in allowing us to make use of such a stage as this, and the very grand and large dressing room located downstairs. How many of you have been to this particular competition before? Well, so few of you. And how many of you are joining the Chester County Shakespeare for the very first time? A few. Excellent. We look forward to your productions. It will be a most glorious event indeed. Now, this particular theatre does have some nuances, like all theatres do, but I am going to start by reading the very important list which they have provided me, because as much as I have read this list for the last 10 years, I can never remember these lines. Happens to the best of us, mostly because they change. Now, the first note I have to make is actually not for the fine students that are here, but actually for all the adults that are present as drama teachers and various professionals associated with the theatre, or with the performances themselves. Upon this production, we do have fine judges who will be working very hard to make sense and awards associated with your plays, because they will be most stellar, I'm sure. But they are not, in fact, psychic. I've tested them over and over, and they fail every single time. Therefore, we ask that you remember to send an adult forward to sit with the judges during the performance, so that they may ask whom they are looking at, so that they know who they might be interested in assessing for awards. Do we understand, adults?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, you should already be well trained. Let's try this again, adults. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we may have to show the adults how it's done here. Now then, next rule, and it is my favorite rule. It's the one that I look forward to stating every year, mostly because I can't imagine that this would ever be violated, at least the last part, but one never knows. There is to be upon this stage no glitter, kind of obvious because it's messy, no confetti, only slightly less messy because it's easier to clean up, but most importantly, there is to be no actual fire upon this stage. I know. I don't want to hear it out of you. You're a STEM teacher. You can come up with something interesting. Where's your Arduino? Now then, next, each group is responsible for keeping their individual areas clear. That includes the area where you are sitting here in the theater, as well as the area downstairs where your props and things are currently set, as well as where you will be having lunch. We are still not your parents, and this theater has been very kind to allow us to be present here. We would rather prefer that we do not have to spend the next hour after you've left cleaning up after you. So therefore, please remember to keep your area clean and take all of your things with you. Restrooms are located in the back here. So you will go into the lobby to the left. There is a staircase down. Down that staircase leads you to the public restrooms of this facility. That will also connect you to where the green room is that will allow you to dress. Please do not enter that green room area unless that is where you have been instructed to go. Stay within the public restrooms if you are looking for a restroom during the performance. Please stay in your assigned seating until someone comes to escort you to your next location. This is extremely important this particular year because we are in a new facility and it requires some slightly different paths of navigation. So I do ask that nobody be proactive and try to be extra helpful by leaving early. You just confuse us. Now then, different rule that doesn't apply this year. Do remain quiet when you are downstairs. This is slightly different. We've often told you this in past locations, but this particular theater, the entire green room area happens to be directly under our feet. I do mean under the audience and under the stage. Also, the pathway that runs from that lower level up to this level is fully open at all times, which means if your voices take on a joyous tone and a high volume, we will hear every word you say. And chances are we're trying to listen to what takes place on stage. So please bear in mind your volume when you are down on those lower levels. There shall be absolutely no food or beverage permitted in this theater, despite the convenient cup holders they've placed out for us. That is for when this theater is in use by its actual theater owners, not for us. Now, we will be dismissing you for lunch. Lunch this year will either be downstairs or upstairs or both, depending on precisely what I am told, and I will come out and inform you of that as we close in on that time. Now then, how many of you have amazing little rectangular glowing boxes known as cell phones with you? How many of you do not have those turned off? Now let me explain to you. Upon the front of this stage, there are a series of very active wireless microphones. There are any number of wireless things taking place in this fine theater. And your cell phones, each time it receives data, text messaging, or a phone call, emits what is known as an RF frequency. And that interferes with all wireless systems and can, in fact, produce a very annoying noise that we can all hear. So now is the time that you turn your cell phone to one of two positions, fully into airplane mode or fully off. Because if your phone is receiving data and I hear it feedback on the system, I will hunt you out. Some of you have been here before and know that I'm not joking. Now then, are we still ready for Shakespeare?
Yes!
And we're getting a little more excited. Either that or they just want me to stop talking. Either is completely possible.
It's time for Shakespeare.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
That's Captain Obvious to you.
Actually, it's neither of the above. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I am Sir Robert.
They're a little slow this
They
morning.
need more horn.
No, they don't.
Very well. Are you ready for our first Shakespeare performance this day? Let a round of applause to the Great Valley Middle School, in which they proudly present Macbeth.
Walk that way. Go that way.
I'm going.
When shall we three meet again in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle is lost and won.
That will be before the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Welcome, friends, to medieval Scotland, to the court of Queen Duncan, where war is raging across the heath as Scottish thanes fight to turn back invaders from Ireland and Norway.
Here in Duncan's court, word has just arrived that the battle is won.
Messengers say that Macbeth fought valiantly to defend the Scottish queen. No foe can stand against him.
What bloody man is this? This is the sergeant who, like a good and hearty soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend.
All's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name. He faced my will, my captor, nor shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he had seen him from the nape to the chest, fixed his head upon our battlements.
O valiant cousins, worthy gentlemen, so well thy words become as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go get him, Sturgeon.
Macbeth and Banquo are making their way home, where they know they will be welcome in the Queen's castle.
But strange sounds and sights, and an eerie fog is dampening their great victory.
We are about to stop Macbeth and Banquo and make some very strange predictions.
Hark!
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
Valor still as the day goes on, Macbeth. What are these so withered and so wild in their time? They're not fellows and all the inhabitants of the earth, and yet they're on it?
All hail Macbeth, Thane of Glom. All hail Macbeth, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, who shall one day be king.
Why, for you, it sounds so fair. You can look into the seeds of time, say which grain will grow and which will not, and tell me what my lot shall be.
Lesser than Macbeth, yet greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt be the father of kings, though thou be none.
So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
You shall be the father of kings,
You shall be king.
and Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so.
Sir Ross, hail, Thane of Cawdor.
But you dress me in borrowed robes. The Thane of Cawdor still lives.
Not for long. He's betrayed the king and is condemned to die. His title and land come from Duncan's hand to thee, in gratitude for your great deeds in battle. Be not too eager, remember. The powers of darkness may use a bit of truth to lure man to doom.
Come what may, time and hour run through the roughest day. Let us towards the Queen.
Macbeth and Banquo are met with much praise and congratulations. Macbeth tells the Queen he wishes to go ahead to see his wife, Lady Macbeth, so that they may prepare their castle for a visit from the Queen.
You may think that Macbeth's wife would be eager to extend her hospitality to the king, and she is, just not in the way you'd expect.
Lady Macbeth has received a letter from her husband telling her about the strange prophecy that he would become king. Suddenly, she wants her husband to be king so much that she's having murderous thoughts.
Yet I do fear your nature, my husband. It is too full the milk of human kindness. To catch the nearest way, I must urge thee on.
My love, Duncan comes here tonight.
Tonight, and when does he leave?
She leaves tomorrow.
Never shall tomorrow come, my lord. Your face is like a book where I may read strange matters. Let no one else see. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent underneath it. Leave all the rest to me.
Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Give me your hand and conduct me to my host. We love him highly and shall continue our grace towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it is to be done, best to do it quickly. What am I saying? The Queen is here in double trust. First, I am her subject and her kinsman, and second, I am her host. I should bar the knife against her murder, not bear it myself. We shall go no further in this business.
Would you live a coward in your own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would?
Peace, woman. Wish only what would become of a man, nothing more.
What made you bring this idea to me? When you did, then you were a man.
And what if we should fail?
Fail? Are you afraid to claim greatness? Screw your courage to this sticking spot.
I'm stuck upon this terrible deed. Mock the hour with fairest show. The false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
Who's there?
Friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest? The Queen's in bed. I dreamt last night of three of her sisters. To you they've shown some truth.
Is this A dagger floating before me that I see, handled towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I grab at thee, yet I have thee not. There is the bell. It summons me. Fear it not, Duncan, for it is the now that shall summon you to heaven or to hell.
Why'd you bring these with you? Get some water and wash this filthy witness from off your hands.
I can go no more. I cannot bear to think of what I have done.
And for my purpose, give me the daggers.
Whence is that knocking? Why is it that every noise appalls me? What hands are these? These hands could turn the green seas red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear knocking at the south entry. Let us go to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is then.
To know my deed, but I want to know myself. We could wake Duncan with thy knocking.
Good morrow, sir. The Queen did call upon me timely to check on her. I've almost slipped the hour.
I shall show you to her room.
The night has been unruly. Chimneys were blown down, and strange screams of death seemed to fill the air.
Oh, it was a rough night.
Oh! Oh, horror! 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 How this confusion now hath made her masterpiece. Sound the alarms! Rouse the house! Murder and treason!
What is the myth?
Your royal mother's murdered.
By whom?
Seems the very men who pledged to guard her.
Those of her children seems to have done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood.
Do repent me of my fury, for in my rage I have murdered those who have killed Duncan. For who could be so loyal and so neutral in the same moment?
Oh, help me, Hence.
Tend to the lady.
Princess Mackenzie is distraught. Macbeth's friend Banquo is suspicious.
Meanwhile, the Queen's daughter decides she will be suspected of murder, and she is also afraid for her own life, so she decides to go away.
My mother's murder of my blood as well. Here there are daggers and men's smiles. I'll go to England.
There is unruliness and unrest in Scotland. The Scottish Thanes or rulers suspect Princess Mackenzie of her royal mother's murder. The Thanes choose their greatest warrior, Macbeth, to be their king. Macduff leaves early for coronation because he is suspicious of the newly crowned king, Macbeth. Macbeth does not rest easy in his new castle. He knows one man has reason to suspect him of murder, his old friend Banquo, who witnessed our prophecy that he would be king.
Here's a Banquo stick deep. For Banquo's children have I sold my soul. For them have I murdered the gracious Duncan. Tonight we hold a solemn supper. I invite you, my friend.
Your Highness commands upon me.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
Our fears in Banquo stick deep. You know him as your enemy.
True, my lord. I shall, my lord, perform what you command me.
Abide within. We shall call upon you time. Banquo, by thy soul's flight, if it shall find heaven, let it find it out tonight.
King Macbeth's power has gone to his head, but it's not making him happy. He's going crazy with suspicion and fear. Why else would he be willing to kill his closest friend? Macbeth has a murderer, fellow Banquo and his son, when they go riding through the countryside in the afternoon before the evening's banquet. The murderer is his grisly deed on Banquo, but there's one problem. Banquo's son, Cleonce, escapes.
Macbeth is glad to hear that Banquo's murder, but is distraught when he finds out that Cleonce has escaped. Now he has to live in fear of him too. When there is a surprise guest at the feast, Macbeth is the only one who can see them. It is the ghost of Banquo.
What is this? Which of you has done this?
What, my good lord?
You cannot say I did it. Do not shake your gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His Highness is not well.
Macbeth soon learns that being king by killing others is not a recipe for happiness. In his kingdom, rebellion grows. He hears a rumor that Queen Duncan's daughter, Princess Mackenzie, is trying to stir up trouble against him in England. Macbeth thinks that it's time to consult us again.
Thrice the brindled cat hath mewed, thrice and once the hedge-pig whined.
Harper cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. And now about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring. Black spirits in white, red spirits in gray.
Mingle, 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 you that mingle may.
Around, 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 about, about. All ill come running in, all good keep out. By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
How now, my midnight hags? What does my future hold?
Our spell will show you. Beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife.
Why? What shall happen?
Be bloody and bold. None of women born shall harm Macbeth.
But all are born women. So I should fear no one, not even Macduff.
Be courageous and be proud, for none shall harm great Macbeth till Burnham Wood shall come to Deuce New.
A forest cannot uproot itself anew. I shall live long. But tell me, what did Banquo's son Cleonce?
Behold, 8 kings standing in a line. The last one holds a mirror reflecting an endless line of heirs. Banquo's ghost follows, laughing in scorn.
No! Curses on you all!
Macduff, the Thane of Fife, has gone to England to find Scotland's true heir, Princess Mackenzie.
Scotland is in chaos. Banquo has been murdered, and Macbeth blames his son, Leon.
Just as you blame me for my mother's death after I fled. This is too much coincidence. Macduff, you trusted Macbeth, but he is treacherous.
I've lost all hope for him.
Scotland sinks beneath Macbeth's fear. It bleeds and bleeds every day, and new gas is added to the wounds. Macbeth is malicious, treacherous, and backing of every sin that has a name.
Then rally an army and reclaim your throne.
But I have no graces that make a queen, not justice, mercy, or patience. I am too quarrelsome, too greedy. With power in my hands, peace and unity would never reign.
Oh, Scotland, when will your wholesome days return? Your queen was a saint, but your princess feels unfit to rule. I cannot stand this. I banish myself from Scotland.
Macduff, your passion pushes me to crush my weak thoughts. I am young and inexperienced, but I make myself, I honor myself to you and my country.
Oh dear. Lord Ross! Oh. What news from Scotland?
I've ridden all night to find you. At home, more men have grown distrustful of Macbeth. They have left the court and are ready to fight with us against him.
Then I shall rally my thanes. How fares my what?
If only I could howl the words for them to hear.
What words? Let me hear them!
The wife has been savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heaven.
My children.
Wives, babies, servants, everyone that was found was murdered. Your castle was surprised.
Oh, my pretty ones, all that was precious to me, in one fell swoop. Who did this?
The same as killed Duncan.
God rest my family.
Let your grief convert into anger and be your sword. The King of England has 10,000 strong and a general to lead them. Let us march on Dunsinane and rout out that bloody tyrant.
God in the heavens above, let me come face to face with this fiend of Scotland, and he shall not escape.
Vengeance!
Every night I see her rise from her bed and sleepwalk. Has she uttered anything? I dare not say.
Shh, she's here. Out, damn spot, out, I say. Fly, my lord, what need we fear? Who knows it? No one has power over us. No one. Yet, who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Look how she rubs her hands together. She does that over and over again, as if she's washing them.
But then if I've had a wife, where is she now? Will these hands never be clean? No more killing, please, my lord. You'll ruin everything.
What has she known?
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia cannot sweeten this little hand.
Did you hear that?
Mango is buried, I tell you. Buried. He can't come out of his grave.
This disease is beyond me. She needs a priest, not a doctor.
Too bad, too bad. What's done cannot be undone.
Old friends. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Cry out to her and listen to what she may confess. Infected minds discharge secrets to their enemies.
Across heats and plains, the Scottish army marches towards Dunsinane to meet with Macbeth, Macduff, Mackenzie, and the English forces.
Enjoy the English ships near Murder Wood. What news do we have of the tyrant?
He's fortified his castle. Some say he's mad.
Now he feels a secret murder sticking on his hand.
Scotland is in revolt.
Now he feels his title hangs loose about him just like a giant robe upon a dwarfish feet.
Bring me no more reports of rebellion. None shall harm me till great Burnham Wood shall come to Dunsinane, or so the witches said. And what of Mackenzie? She is a woman born like all else. She can't harm me. None can.
Soldiers, 10,000 of them.
So, I shall fight till the flesh is hacked from my bones. What news of my lady?
Her mind is very troubled.
Do we not have some way to pluck sorrow from her heart? Forget something that's troubling her, or a doctor.
For that, a patient must minister and he do so.
I'll do none of this. Bring me my armor. I'll fight this longing myself.
Here at Burnham Wood, we join to fight the tyrant. Soldiers, cut down a branch or hold a bow. We need to cover up our soldiers.
Macbeth keeps to his castle. Those who he commands only do what he says. They have no heart in it.
Then let us march on Burnham Wood.
Hang out our banners. Our castle's strength will hold them at bay. Let them lie outside the walls and die from the famine. What's that noise?
The cry of a woman.
What is it that I can fear? I guess I've just seen so many terrible things that no longer something like that terrify me.
My lord, the queen is dead.
Tomorrow. creeps into this petty place from day to day. And yesterdays do nothing but lead us to our dusty deaths. Out, brief candle! Life is but a player on a stage, fretting and strutting about, yelling, acting until his hour is over and he is heard of no more. It is a play told by an idiot, full of rage and noise, with no substance at all.
I do not know how to report what I just saw. As I stood on the ramparts, the Gordon Wood began to move.
No, lie!
Go see for yourself.
Which is so. I shall not be harmed until Great Burnham Wood comes to Dunsinane. And now Great Burnham Wood is moving on Dunsinane! Sound the alarms!
Sound the trumpets!
Soldiers, throw down your leafy screams. We need to get ready to fight.
Blow wind as you may, I shall fear none, because all are of women born.
Ah, tyrant, come from your castle, or let me find thee, and I shall avenge my family. Turn, hellhound!
No, my soul is charged to draw your blood.
I will not waste words on a villain. My sword will hold my words.
I have no fear, for I live a charmed life, one that shall not yield to one of women born.
Despair that charm, for it's ripped from my mother's womb before our time was due.
No, I shall not fight you!
Then yield. Let us hang you on a pole, with a sign that displays, "Here hangs the tyrant."
I shall not yield. I don't care if Great Burnham Wood has come to Dunsinane, and if you are not a woman born. I shall still fight you. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be he who cries enough.
The tyrant is no more. His bloody crown is here, but you shall cleanse it. Queen of Scotland.
All hail, Queen.
And Kingsmen, let us call back our exiled friends who fled from here, fled from the tyranny, from this dead butcher and his fiendish queen. We meant you to be our Scotland's earls, our Scotland's honored earls, and we would like you to see us get crowned.
How was that? That was wonderful, wasn't it? Indeed. Now, as I said before, I introduced myself as Sir Robert, And I introduce myself as a knight because I am one. I travel the country. I fight and joust from horseback. That's what I do for a living. Now, it's hard for me to bring a horse into the theater, so I left my horse back with the other horses. His name's Frederick, by the way, if you were wondering. Yeah, Frederick the Great. He's my war horse. But I did bring something else. I brought along what I tend to make. When I joust, I fight with a lance, but I also tend to fight with these swords right here. Now, what I'm holding in my hand here is a traditional knightly sword. It looks like a sword, and let's go through the parts of the sword so you know what I'm talking about. If you look at the different parts of the sword, you start at the top here, and we have the pommel. This is a counterweight or stock for the hand. It's at the back of the sword. Then you have the handle. That's the part you hold on to. Then you have this is the crossguard. That helps give protection for the hand while I'm fighting. And then you have the business end, which is the blade, right here. Now this particular sword, being a long sword, it has two edges, and the point and the groove down the center. Now, does anybody know what that groove is for? Anyone? What do you think? Blood groove, yes. That's what people thought for a long time. I'll explain the thinking. They thought, much like you probably do, that if you take this sword and you stick it in someone, there'll be so much suction from the body onto the blade that you won't be able to pull it out easily, and you'll need a channel for the blood to run down to release the suction so you can pull this out and go stab it into another person over here. Sounds really gruesome, doesn't it? Unfortunately, that's not what it's for, though people thought that for a long time. What this groove actually is, it's called a fuller, and what it does is it adds strength to a blade. You see, a sword needs to be two things. It needs to be both stiff and flexible at the same time. It has to be stiff enough that you can fight with it, but flexible enough that in combat it doesn't get bent or broken. Now, the two ways to do that are, one, build the sword up in the center to make it a diamond shape. You see on the edge of it here, if you look down the point, you see it's sort of diamond shaped there at the very tip. But that end tends to add weight to a sword, and you don't want a sword to be too heavy, or it takes too much effort to move it around easily. Whoops. Oh, yeah. There we are. Now, the other way to make the sword strong and flexible is to add this fuller down the center. It takes away the weight of the center of the sword. It adds angles to a flat plane of the sword blade, thus making it stiff, but keeping it relatively light. And that's what this is. It's not for blood at all, though people thought that for a long time. Now, to give you an idea, this sword weighs just over 2 pounds. That's all this sword weighs. It's very, very light. A long sword can be used either in one hand, as if I'm riding my horse, I need the other hand on the reins to control my horse as I fight and joust. Or I can let go of the reins sometimes and use two hands on the sword to deliver a more powerful blow. Now, this sort of long sword here was used through the Renaissance, though by the time Shakespeare's writing his plays, another sword was becoming very, very popular, and that sword was the rapier. This sword here. Now, this sword has all the same parts as the last one I showed you. It has a pommel, has a handle, the crossguard, and the blade. But now, because the blade is so thin and narrow, we don't need to add a fuller, so it's just diamond-shaped all the way through the center. I know it's hard to see because it has a button on the end here. I tend to use this sword to stab people, and the people I like to stab are my friends, and so I don't like hurting them. That's why there's a button on the end of this one. But what makes this sword very different, besides the thinness of the blade, is the crossguard. You notice on this rapier, the crossguard is made up of many rings and counter rings here to protect my hand and fingers. So if I hold this sword here, I can hold this sword without wearing a steel gauntlet, and my hand cannot get cut because the rings are in the way, which is very important. Rapiers weren't for the battlefield. When I'm fighting or using this sword, most likely I'm wearing armor, and so my hands are protected by steel gauntlets, so I won't lose a finger or a thumb or something that I might need later on. So this sword here wasn't meant for the battlefield. This sword was meant for wearing in town. And so you wouldn't be wearing armor while you go shop for a chicken for dinner or something like that. And so you wanted something that would protect your hand if you needed to use your sword. Actually, rapier, the term comes from sword of the robe, meaning that you would wear this with clothing as opposed to wearing it with armor, such as a longsword or an arming sword. So you needed this extra hand protection. Now, rapiers also fight differently. The longsword can deliver a large chopping, and a chop that might take off an arm, or hack into a leg, or split a skull. Rapier is too light. It won't do that. It can give a good cut, but you're not going to lop off anybody's limbs. But you could poke someone out. Oh, there you are. Sorry about that. Didn't see you there.
Yes.
Yeah, but
It's time for more Shakespeare's. Entertaining as your suction on body blood groove entertainment is.
People love that.
They look overwhelmed.
They are overwhelmed. There you are. See?
But it's time for more Shakespeare.
I love Shakespeare.
Well, yes, because we have a fine new Shakespeare production here. Fair is foul and foul is fair, or the other way around. It's very confusing. But Downingtown STEM Academy, let's give them a huge warm welcome.
Now have we near, for wenches sweet, one day with joy each hopes to meet. But that dream's dawn is far away, for one's plans in life do oft be stray. That path so straight, and in this hour, to sit, to gripe, is in their power. Bianca first with sister's crime, mourning such with quill and rhyme. Miranda mourns a lover's quarrel, and thus plays out the player's sorrow. Helena and Hermia's gripe and nonsense, if yet unchecked, erupts in violence. So, when fair is foul, and foul is fair, discuss it in the sulking chair.
Now, let me see if I can construe it. Good sister, I have been thus pleasant with you, but have you forsworn me? You have but jested with me all this while. I trust you not. Wrong me not, nor wrong yourself, to make a bondmaid and a slave of me, that I disdain, but for these other gods. Unbind my hands, else I'll pull them off myself. Ye are my raiment to my petticoat. Oh, what you will command me will I do. So well I know my duty to my elders. Believe me, sister, of all the men alive, I never yet beheld that special face, which I could fancy more than any other. Is it for him you do envy me so? If you affect him, sister, here I swear I'll plead for you myself. But you shall have him. I prithee thee, sister Kate, untie my hands. I must be gone.
Do you love me? You have often begun to tell me, and left me to a bootless inquisition. 'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. More to know did never meddle with my thoughts. I said, you may deny me. I'll be your servant whether you will or no. There's nothing ill that can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it. Oh, woe the day! What foul play had we that came from thence? Or blessed was we did. Never till this day I saw him touched with anger so distempered. All the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. And yet my heart bleeds at mine unworthiness. To think of the teen I have turned you to. Wherefore did you not that hour destroy me? Do you love me? Alack for mercy. Alack for pity. I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it o'er again. Sweet Lord, you played me false. And I would call it fair play. Oh, spite. Oh, hell
are bent to set against me for your own merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. Can you not hate me as I know you do, but must join in souls to mock me too?
Oh, me! You juggler! You cankered blossom! You thief of love! What? Have you come by night to steal my love's love from him?
Finite faith! Have you no modesty? No maiden shame? No touch of bashfulness? What, will you tear impatient answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you.
Puppet? Why so? That way goes the game. Now I perceive she hath made compare between her statures. She hath urged her height, her personage, her tall personage. Her height, forsooth she hath prevailed with him. Are you grown so high in his esteem because I'm so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, thou painted maple? Speak, how low am I? I am not yet so low that my nails can reach into thine eyes!
Oh, when she's angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school. Although she be but little, she is fierce.
Little, again? Nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer her to flaunt me thus?
Good Hermia, do not be so bitter with me. I evermore did love you, Hermia. Did ever keep your counsels, never wronged you. To Athens will I bear my folly back, and follow you no further. Let me go. You see how simple and how fond I am.
Why? Get you gone. What is it that hinders you?
A foolish heart that I leave here behind.
What? With Lysander?
With Demetrius. Hark, hark! A foul plan here smell I. By Macbeth's hands, one's doomed to die. How soon will woman turn to monster and bondslave, queen of all the roster? Ooh, be it forewarned, her hour's here, and hark! Lady Macbeth draws near. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here. Fill me from crown to toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the passage and access to remorse, that no conspicuous nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the affectionate. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gal, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark, to cry, hold! Hold! In a game of lots, there is no tie to see which one shall cast to die. King Lear hath no reign over the weather, so when it rains, maids, tears all weather, the kingdom shall be hers or his. The king's dominion is limited. Now at the rise and set of the sun, when sisters' dirty deeds are done, is the battle lost or won, or has it yet to be begun? When shall three sisters meet again? In vengeance, pardon, or in blame? Sir, I am maid of the
self-same metal that my sister is, and prize me at her worth. In my true heart, I know that she names my very deed of love, but she comes too short. I profess myself an enemy to all joys, but which precious square of sense possesses, I find myself alone, felicitate in your dear highness's love.
Poor Cordelia. And yet, not so, since I'm sure my heart's more richer than my tongue.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
Unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart to my mouth. I love your majesty, according to my bond, no more, no less.
How? How, Cordelia? Mend your speech a little, lest it may mar your fortunes.
Good my lord, you begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as are right fit, obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why have my sister's husbands, if they say they love you all? Happily I shall wed that lord whose hand must take my plight in his.
But goes thy heart with this?
Aye, good my lord.
Oh, so young and so untender.
So young, my lord, and true. The jewels of our fathers, with washed eyes, Cordelia leaves you. I know you what you are, and like a sister am most loath to call your faults as they are named. Use well our father. To your professed bosom I pronounce him, I commit him. But yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would perhaps wish him a better place. So farewell to you both.
Prescribe not us our duties.
Let your study be to content your lord, who hath received you at fortune's alms. You have obedience scanted, and well are worth the want that you have wanted.
Time shall unfold what pleaded cunnings hide. Who covers fault if at last shame them derides? Well, may you prosper.
Come, my fair Cordelia. Sister, it is not little I have to say of what most nearly appertains to us both. I think our father will hence tonight.
That's certain. With you, next month, with us.
You have seen the changes of his age. The observations we have made hath not been little. He always loved our sister most. But with what poor judgment he hath now cast her off, and grossly.
'Tis not but the infirmity of his age.
The best and soundest of his time hath been but rash. Then we must look to receive from his age, not alone the imperfections of long and graphic condition, but therewithal the unruly waywardness that infirm and choleric years have brought within them.
And such unconstant starts are we like to have from him as of Kent's banishment.
There is further compliment of leave taken between France and him. Pray you, let's hit together. If our father carries authority of such dispositions that he bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us.
We shall think on't.
We must do something, and I the heat.
Oh! Oh, she's dead! Goneril, her, your lady, and her sister. By her, she confessed it.
Oh, I love you more than words can wield the matter, dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count, Count Comfort, a sweet gallant, surely. Oh, if I were a man, for his sake, or that any of my friends were a man, for my sake. Oh, but manhood is melted into sweet courtesies, valor into compliment, and all men are turned tongues, trim ones too. He is as valiant as Hercules, who only tells a lie and swears by it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman, grieving.
And last we have, 'twas once the least, till ambition turned her to a beast. The lady fair doth show her power, and violence closed her greatest hour. From head to crown, the throne's a game, yet thirst for blood cannot quench shame. What always comes of blood foul play? Could queens turn dark live yet this way? So heavy on heart doth lay her blame, that her and her crown go down in flames.
Out, damn spots, out, I say! 1, 2. Oh, then, 'tis time I do it. Hell is murky. I, my lord Thigh, a soldier into fear? What need we fear those who know it, when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Will these hands never be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more. You mar us all with this starting. Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes in Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Wash your hands, put on your nightgown, look not so pale. And yet you hear me not. Banquo's dead. He cannot come out on his grave. Too bad. Too bad. There's a knocking at the gate. Come, come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad.
Pestilent vial? Pardon me.
when fair is foul, and foul is fair. All wed in true despair.
That was another amazing bit of Shakespeare. Now, as I said before, I joust. I fight in armor. This is what I do. Now, to talk about some of the armor I wear, first of all, I wear many different types of armor from many different periods, depending on where I'm fighting and what I'm jousting in. And I wear, of these armors, the base layer of the armor is always a padded jacket and padded clothing called a gambeson. And that's a thick padded coat, much like a winter coat, and it's laced on very tight. The next layer of armor I wear, to protect myself always, is chainmail. Now, this is a bit of chainmail right here. And you can look and see, chainmail is an odd bit of armor, because chainmail is made up of thousands of little rings linked together. So it's basically an armor full of holes. But this steel mesh acts as a layer to help protect myself from slashes and cuts and points of anyone who's trying to attack me, as it were. See, I made a volunteer, somebody with short hair. You have short hair and your hands up pretty quick. Come on up. There you are. I'm going to show you why I need somebody with short hair in just a moment. There you are. Come on up there. Excellent, well done. What's your name? Ryan. Ryan, that's it. Watch everybody, Ryan. I'm going to put this chainmail coif on you. Now this is a coif, this is a head protection. There we are, right there. Kind of heavy, isn't it? It's a little heavy and it's cold. It'll warm up in a second here. So the coif chainmail is excellent. Now, it's very flexible. You notice Ryan can move his head all over the place. He's not restricted with any movement there. There you go. That's good, Ryan. Excellent. Yes, good. All right. Now, what chainmail really does well is it resists cuts and punctures pretty well. Let me show you. All right, this is sharp, and there you go. Does that hurt? No, not at all. See, I can do this all day, and I can't cut into him because the metal rings stop that from cutting. And that's really what's very good about chainmail. This is why it's a basic layer of protection. Now, the early knights in the 1100s would wear just chainmail over their entire body, consisting of a suit of armor that would weigh around 40 to 50 pounds of just the armor of chainmail. Now, this was excellent because, as you see, they can't get cut by anything, and the padded jacket underneath helps with that. And even if I were to strike him on the head really hard, I wouldn't be able to cut through the chainmail. Now, the problem with striking him on the head really hard is the impact would actually go through the chainmail and it'd probably break his skull. We don't want to do that, do we? No, you think so. No, that's okay with you? All right. Your friend's happy. There you go. All right. All right. So to protect that, what we would need to do is add another layer of protection, and this is where plate armor came in. Now, plate armor, in essence, is steel plates hammered into shape to protect the body. So over this chainmail, we would add, if it was his head, we would add a helmet, such as this helmet right there. There you are. Can you see? Somewhat? Yes, there you are. So, this style of helmet is a sallet. All right, if you turn sideways, so we can see the profile there. This is a sallet. Now, this sallet has a visor, So you can lift it up so you can see out from under it. There you are. See, you can look around. But you can close the visor. Now this helmet is meant for fighting on foot. All right, you can tell that because of the back of the helmet here, which extends out over his shoulders. Now this is perfect. Here, turn this way and walk 3 steps right there. So if he's fighting on foot and I was in the saddle fighting from horseback, I would be about this high to him and I would be striking down on his head. You see the fin back here protects from my strikes. So I can't chop down onto his shoulders. The rest of it is protected from the rest of the helmet. I can strike him all over here, and it doesn't really matter. How's that sound? Yeah, see, excellent, right? There you go. So, the chainmail would there would first be a layer of padding, then there would be the chainmail, and then you would add the sallet. And once again, now the visor, you notice, has an ocular here. This is the eye slot where you can look out. You see, and it has to be fairly narrow because you don't want things piercing it. The larger the ocular, the more things can pierce the helmet. There you are. Everyone give Ryan a round of applause. Move forward, we'll pull this off. Some hair is going to come with it. That's just how this works. There you go. All right, thank you. Have a seat there. Now, the eye slots in a helmet are important because the smaller they are, the less you can see. The larger they are, the more danger it is for you to wear. As you notice, my dagger, sideways, can run all the way in. That's a bad thing. This way, it doesn't quite fit. And so you always take that balance between how much protection you want to how much you want to be able to see. Now the other style of helmet I have here is one of my jousting helmets. I wear this when I joust and ride. And this is a closed helmet. Now it's called a closed helmet because if it's very close to the head, it's actually made for my head, and it doesn't really fit anyone else. There we go, and there we go, right like that. You see how it follows the line? That's a little easier both in the visor than this one. It follows the line of my skull, making it fit very closely and gives me protection up under my chin, around the sides of my face. And when I'm jousting, I drop the visor, and now I'm completely protected. Now, you can tell a jousting helmet. If you're ever in a museum, I'll tell you how to tell a jousting helmet from a helmet for foot combat. You notice there are air holes on only one side of the helmet. There's no air holes. Here there are air holes. When you joust, you pass left shoulder to left shoulder. So my opponent will only ever see this side of my face. You want that side of your armor to be very smooth so the lance can't catch in something. Because if it were to catch in one of these air holes, it might catch and rip the helmet off my head, or my head might go along with my helmet. You never know, that might actually happen. So that's how you can tell a jousting helmet from a foot helmet.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. There we are.
Just a matter, we are ready for more Shakespeare. I mean, not that what you're talking about with your head being lopped off and disappearing isn't one of the more exciting things I've heard all day.
You know, I'm catching a theme with you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Thank you, everyone.
Now taking this lovely stage is Windsor Christian Academy with an important broadcast from the Roman Network News.
Welcome to RNN, Roman Network News, your news at noon. I am Tulia. Today is March 14th, 44 years before the birth of Christ.
And I am Magnus. Tribes filled the city today as Caesar returned to Rome after his victory in Spain. Caesar is a brilliant general who conquered the Mediterranean world by dramatic victories in Gaul, Egypt, Britain, and Africa.
Caesar is already a consul or dictator for life. However, there is a rumor that the senators will make him king.
Wait, we have some breaking news from our reporter, Livia, out on the streets. Livia, what do you have for us?
I'm reporting from the streets of Rome. This parade alone would be significant enough to report, but we have just witnessed the most dramatic scene. Take a look. Caesar! Ha! Who calls?
Let every noise be still. Peace ye again.
Who's it in the press that calls on me?
I hear a tongue, shriller than all music. Cry, Caesar, speak. Caesar's turn to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you, beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass.
So in the middle of a triumphant celebration, we heard words of warning, not sure what it means for Caesar. Well, back in the studio, let's discuss what today might mean for Caesar. Is this the best day of his career, or should he heed the warning of the soothsayer?
Welcome our guests, Cassius and Brutus. Brutus, what do you think about today?
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
So, Brutus and Cassius, how do you feel about Caesar being king?
Aye, do you fear it?
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. If it be aught toward the general good, I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know virtue to be in you, Brutus. I was born as free as Caesar. So were you.
We're getting reports that there is more cheering in the streets of Rome.
Yay! Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men peep about his huge legs to find ourselves dishonorable graves. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings.
I am nothing jealous. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome. Under these hard conditions, as this time is like to lay upon us.
Cassius, is it possible you are jealous?
I am glad that my weak words have struck thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
So what is your plan? How are you going to respond to Caesar? Are the two of you working together?
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after a sour fashion, tell you what hath proceed working out today.
Look, Livia, what do you see? Caesar and his followers are returning to the street.
But look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
The people are enthralled with Caesar. They have heard from Brutus and Cassius about their concerns that Caesar is becoming too powerful.
Look, Livia has found Caesar himself. Caesar, 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 how's your relationship with the senators?
Let me have men about me that are fat. Sleek-headed men and such asleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He is not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
There you have it. Caesar is suspicious of Cassius, but Antony thinks he is a fine Roman. It seems almost certain that Caesar will be crowned king tomorrow. 450 years of rule by the Senate. Is the Republic ready for this change?
Rome has had consuls before, but the king is different. Now Livia has found some senators.
Senators, what are your views in this turn in Roman politics?
You pull me by the cloak. Will you speak with me?
Aye, Casca, tell us what hath chanced today, that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus, and the people fell shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was a crown offered him thrice?
Aye, marry, was it? And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, my honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
You seem skeptical and not truly convinced that Caesar wanted to reject the crown. Welcome to RNN, Roman Network News, with your evening news. I am Tully. Today is March 14th, 44 years before the birth of Christ.
And I am Magnus. Well, we hear that Caesar is conquering, but aside from the politics of Rome, the weather tonight is horrible. Let's see what's happening around the city.
This has been a storm like no other. Not only we have seen thunder and lightning, but there are reports that lightning split a tree and the waves on the ocean are high. We have some senators on the street who may share their experience with us.
Why are you breathless, and why stare you so?
I have seen tempests, and I have seen ambitious oceans swell and rage and foam. But never till tonight, never till now have I gone through tempest dropping fire. Is a strange supposed time. Come Caesar to the capital tomorrow?
He doth. Where has it been, Antonius?
Sam writes you that he would be there tomorrow. Good night then, Casca. This disturbs skies not to walk in.
So maybe this is just bad weather, or possibly a bad omen for tomorrow. This is March 14th, 44 years before the birth of Christ. We are here at Caesar's home. Caesar, everyone is talking about tomorrow. Calpurnia, what are your views on what is happening at the moment? What is your advice to Caesar?
You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar's wife does not want him to leave the house.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me near look, but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar wants to go to the Senate.
I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, I do fear these things.
Caesar's wife is scared for him.
What can be avoided? Whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth.
Calpurnia, Caesar wants to go to the Senate. What do you think of that?
We shall send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you are not well today.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well. For thy humor, I will stay at home.
Caesar is not going to the Senate.
Here is Decius Brutus. He shall tell them so. Bear my greetings to the Senate and say I will not come to them.
He is sure Caesar will not go to the Senate today.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Decius, go tell him Caesar will not come.
It is confirmed Caesar will not appear in the Senate today.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell him so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate.
Caesar is not going to the Senate today.
Calpurnia's dream is all misinterpreted. It signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood.
In this way, you have well expounded it.
And know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change if you do not come. For someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams.
How foolish you feed me now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Forgive me my robe, for I will go.
Newsflash, Caesar to appear in the Senate today, expected to be crowned king of Roman Republic. Welcome to RNN Roman Network News, your morning news. I am Tulia. Today is March 15th, 44 years before the birth of Christ.
The day is here. It is the Ides of March. There is something special on the calendar about the Ides of March. It's just another way of saying it is March 15th. However, the local soothsayer has issued his warning to Caesar.
And over the past couple of days, some strange things have happened that would make a superstitious person concerned. Livia has a report for us. Look, here's the soothsayer again.
The Ides of March are come.
I, Caesar, but not gone.
The people are out in force today. People are trying to hand Caesar letters along the parade route. This is strange. Look how the senators are blocking the entrance. Caesar banished Cimber's brother from Rome, and Cimber is begging him to change his mind.
Are we all ready? For now this, that Caesar and his Senate must you dress.
Most high, most mighty, most puissant Caesar, metellus Cimber throws before thy seat and humble heart.
Thy brother by decree is banished. Thou dost bend, pray, and fawn for him. I spurn thee like a cur out of my way.
Caesar has rejected Cimber's request. Essentially, Caesar said, if you kneel and beg and flatter for him, I'll kick you out of my way like I would a dog, 10 times the Senate of Rome.
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon.
I would be as well moved, Pharaoh, as you. I'm as constant as the northern star. Whose true fixed and resting quality? And that I constant, Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Caesar is not changing his mind. Left up to Caesar, Cimber's brother will remain banished. Look, all the senators are kneeling before Caesar, begging him to change his mind.
Oh, Caesar. Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Doth Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak, hands for me.
That too, Brute, can follow Caesar.
Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Run hence, proclaim, cry about the streets.
Some to the common pulpits, cry out, liberty, freedom, enfranchisement.
People and senators, be not affrighted, fly not, stand stiff, ambition's debt is paid.
I can't believe my eyes. The senators have just murdered Caesar. Dramatic day outside Rome. Caesar is dead. He was killed by a group who opposed his grab of power.
But those same men were going to offer Caesar a crown. The soothsayer was right.
Calpurnia was right.
With the events of today, it's surprising that Mark Antony is still alive. Antony was Caesar's best friend. Trebonius reported that Antony fled to his house.
They're bringing Caesar's body to the forum. Brutus shall say some words to the crowd, and I hear Antony will also say some words for his lost friend.
We will be satisfied. Let us be satisfied.
Then follow me, and give me audience, friends, and public reasons shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
I will hear Brutus speak.
Be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent, that you may hear. Believe me, you may be the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say, that Brutus' love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I love Caesar less, but that I love Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living, to die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men? As he was ambitious, I slew him.
Bring him with triumph home into his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar.
Let Caesar's better parts be crowned of Brutus.
Oh, bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake, stay here with Antony.
Amazing. The crowd is cheering Brutus. The man who slays Caesar is being cheered for saving Rome. How will they receive Mark Antony?
Stay, ho, and let us hear Mark Antony.
Here we speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace. Let us hear what Antony can say.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do is after them, and the good is often teared with their bows. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all, honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransom did the general coffers fill. Was this ambition? When the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner self. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause was told you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to Brutus' feast, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin with Caesar. Let's pause, come back to me.
Who do you believe?
Was Caesar ambitious?
Or was Brutus a rash murderer?
Was Caesar fated to die?
Or was he killed unjustly?
Did Caesar love the people?
Or did he do things so that they would support him?
Brutus says he killed Caesar to save the Republic.
Well, who's leading the Republic now?
What does today mean for the future of Rome?
Now, before I was talking about, I showed you this sword here. This is a long sword. So, traditional sword of the knight can be used in and out of armor, can be used one-handed or with two hands. That's what makes a sword very versatile. Now, the next sword I want to show you is called a great sword or a montante. And it's this sword right here. And you can see the difference between the two swords when I put them side by side. This sword is large enough that you can't use it with only one hand. This sword has to be used with two hands because of its size and its weight. It's about 5.5 feet long. You've noticed it has all the same parts. It's a fairly simple sword, but its length makes it especially useful when fighting with two hands. So now I can give great long cuts with this sword and also long thrusts over the shoulders back and forth. Now this sword was used on the battlefield. Many times you find soldiers fighting with this sword to defeat long spearmen with pikes. Pike is an 18-foot spear that is held by a spearman. And the idea being that you would move forward and move the spearheads out of the way to create an opening. Then you would have a 16-foot run to the spearman and try to chop him down. But what else this sword was used for was in towns a great deal. This was a bodyguard sword. If you were a prominent so-and-so and you wanted to be protected, you would give this to your bodyguard and they would carry this before you. Now what makes this perfect in towns is its length means I can fend off a large group of people at a single time. If I were to be in a street from here trying to attack someone behind me, I could use the length of this sword to defend against you, back and forth, defending you in a small street very easily to keep people at bay, letting the person I'm protecting hide behind me or escape to freedom. So you find a lot of these swords were used by town guards. You find a lot of these swords used by guard bodyguards, the montante, or two-handed swords. Now, a part of the sword which is unique to this style of sword are these lugs right here, these two protrusions that come out from the blade. Those lugs act as an extra protection for my hand. If another sword or weapon were to slide down the blade, it would hit the lugs before getting close to my hand. And that gives an extra bit of protection, because here the sword could easily come over and attack and chop into my finger like so. So those lugs add an extra bit of protection so my hand will not get hit when I'm using my montante, my two-headed sword. Now, these swords were very specialized. The long sword was a very common style of sword, but there was one thing on the other end of the size spectrum that everyone had and generally courted, and that was the dagger, as you see this dagger here. Now this dagger is a rondelle dagger. It's called so because the pommel and crossguard are discs. Now this dagger is very simple. This is a soldier's dagger. You would find these, almost every soldier would carry this sort of dagger. And it was at the hand, always in by your belt and on your right hand. Generally, your sword was carried on the left side because the blade being so long, you would need to be able to draw it across your body. If this was in a scabbard, I'd have to draw it across my body to clear that and able to use my sword. The dagger is short enough that it can be drawn straight from the right side. And you also want that to be drawn very quickly, because the dagger is what you use when you were attacked and were unexpected. If I'm walking down the street and I'm attacked from the side, I can draw the dagger and immediately work to defend myself. So it has to come to hand very quickly. Also, it's hard to see, but if you look very carefully, you notice how the handle is offset on my dagger. Here. It's not actually in the center of the cross-guarded pommel. This is because I need it to be offset so I can use it effectively. I need to be able to fight with my dagger and have full range of my wrist. And so, with the cross-guarded pommel being offset, if an attack were to come down, I could block the attack here and defend myself, and I need the full motion of my wrist. The sword also needs to be swung around greatly.
All right, enough already.
And there you are.
Aren't I always?
You're very sneaky, you know that.
How does one sneak up with a giant dress?
I don't know, but you tend to do it well. You need to tie bells to you, like a falcon or something like that, so you can't sneak up on people. It's rude to sneak up on people all the time. You should announce yourself or something. Well, next time, tell me when she's there.
I feel no need to annoyingly announce myself with a giant horn just like you do.
Oh, get the horn!
No! Good gentles, are you ready for more Shakespeare?
Yes.
Verily, very nice. Now then, good gentles, I present to you Fred S. Engel and Hamlet.
The Prince of Denmark grieving over his father's death. To make matters worse, his uncle, Claudius, has become king by marrying Queen Gertrude. Then there's the matter of the ghost.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, let the memory be green, our hearts in grief. We with wise sorrow think on him, together with our sometime sister, Melancholy. Have we, with mirth and funeral, and with dirge and marriage, taken to wife. But now my cousin, Hamlet, and my son, how is it that the clouds so hang upon you?
No, my lord, I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, castling and toil. Do not forever with thy veiled lids, for thy noble father the dust. Thou knowest, 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madame, it is common.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father, and that father lost to his. But to persevere in obstinate condolement, 'tis a fault against the dead. Come away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seems to me all the use of this world, that it should come to this, but 2 months dead, so excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother, frailty, thy name is a woman, why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reasoned would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, O most wicked speed to post, with such dexterity to incestuous sheets, break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
I'm glad to see you well, Horatio.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
My father? He thinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
My lord, I think I've seen your father yesternight.
The king? My father? For God's love, let me hear.
I was on my watch with those two gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, in the dead vast in the middle of the night. I saw a specter vaguely reminiscent of your father. It walked slowly and stately by us, and lifted its head as if it were to speak. But just then the morning cock crew loud, and it disappeared in haste.
'Tis very strange. I will watch tonight, perchance to walk again.
I warrant it will.
So fare you well. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
My duty to your honor.
My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. Foul deeds will rise. All the earth around them to men's eyes.
On the watchman's platform, the former king, Hamlet's father, appears to give Hamlet disturbing news.
The air bites very shrewdly. It is very cold.
Look, my lord, it comes.
Angel ministers of grace, defend us, whether bring heirs from heaven or blasts from hell. King, father, answer me.
It beckons you go away.
Then I will go with it.
Do not, my lord.
My fate cries out. I'll follow thee.
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak. I'll go no further.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and in the day confined to fast and fires, till the foul crimes done in my deeds of nature are burnt and purged away. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love.
Oh, God!
Revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Now, come up here. Sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. The serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, adulterate beast, one to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Sleeping in my orchard, thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed heaven on and vile, and the purchase of my ear did pour. The
leprous stillman. Thus was I, sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched. Oh, horrible, most horrible! Adieu, adieu. Hamlet, remember me.
Remember thee, I, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe, a most pernicious woman, smiling damned villain. Give me one poor request, Horatio.
What is it, my lord? I will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
I will not. Swear. O day, O night, with this wonder strange. Swear.
Rest, rest, perturbed spirit. Let us go in together, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is ever out of joint, O cursed spite, that ever I was born to set it right.
A traveling acting troupe arrives in Elms. Hamlet decides to have the acting troupe act out his father's murder. The place of thing.
I'll have the players presuming the murder of my father or my uncle. If he but the ledge, I shall know my course. The play's the thing. We're gonna catch a conscience of a king.
Hamlet and Ophelia, daughter of King Claudius' chief officer Polonius, have recently confessed their affection for each other. But when Ophelia's father, bound by the king to spy on Hamlet, orders Ophelia to return Hamlet's love letters, the prince's vicious and unhinged reaction upsets her greatly.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have long and longed to redeliver. I pray not that you receive them.
No, not I. I never give you aught.
My honor's lord, you know right well you did. And with them, words of so sweet broken hosts made gifts more rich. Their perfumes lost. Oh, what a noble mind is hero thrown. Rich gifts wax poured when givers proved unkind. Here, my lord.
I did love you once.
You, my lord, can make me believe so.
You should not believe me. I love you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wilt thou need be breeder of sinners? Or if thou need marry a fool? For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him!
God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. To a nunnery, go. I'll know her on it, and has made me mad. There will be no more talk of marriages. To a nunnery, go.
Oh, what a noble mind is hero thrown, and in the most sovereign reason. Like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I've seen. See what I see.
Horatio, there is a play tonight before the king. Give him equal note, for I mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after our censures join and censure is seeming.
I will, my lord.
They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you to a place.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
No, no, good mother. Here's my good mother attracted. It means mischief.
What do you call the play?
The mousetrap.
The king rises.
What? French with false fire?
How fares my lord?
Give me some light!
Lights, lights, lights.
Away!
Oh, good, Horatio. I'll take that ghost word for £1,000. Didst perceive?
Yes, very much, my lord.
Upon the show of the poisoning?
I did very well note him.
I will come to mother by and by. Leave me, friend. Now is the very time of night when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out. Contagion to this world, soft to my mother.
Hamlet confronts his mother, resulting in a bloody deed involving Lord Ophelia's father, Lord Polonius, the ghost.
He will come straight. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with. Else comes me even here.
Mother! Mother! Mother!
Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Now, good matter, mother, what's the matter?
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast my father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question the wicked tongue. What's this? A rat? Dead for a ducat dead. Ah!
Oh me, what hast thou done?
Is it the king?
What a rash and bloody deed this is.
Almost as bad as kill a king and to marry with his brother.
As kill a king.
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Ah, thou rash, intruding fool. Farewell, I took thee for thy better.
Do not forget! This visitation is but to whet Naomi's blunted purpose. Look, amazement on thy mother's sense. Speak to her, Hamlet.
Do you see nothing here?
Nothing at all.
Why, look you there, my father.
This is the very coinage of your ring.
It is not madness. Confess yourself to heaven. Avoid what is to come.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Throw away the worser part of it and live the purer the other half.
Tragic events had their effect on Ophelia.
Where is the beast, your Majesty of Denmark? How now, Ophelia?
He's dead and gone, lady. He's dead and gone. At his head, a grass green turf, and his heels.
A stone?
How do you, pretty lady?
Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning bedtime, and I made at your window to be your Valentine.
How long has she been thus?
I cannot choose but to weep to think that they should play him on the Godard ground. My brothers should know of this. Come, my coach. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night, good night.
Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment.
Where is the king? Oh, thou vile king, where is my father? Dead. How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell, allegiance. Vows to the blackest devil. I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
I am guiltless of your father's death and am most sensible in grief because of it.
How now? What noise is that?
Oh, he, dry up my brains. By heaven, thy madness shall be paid in weight. Oh, Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia.
And he will not come again, and he will not come again. No, no, he's dead. Go to thy deathbed. He will never come again.
Do you see this, O God? Where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
Laertes and Hamlet duel. Poison is involved. I do not predict a happy ending.
There's a certain divinity that shapes our ends. Refute them how we will.
That is most certain.
is not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm?
Haste, who comes here?
Your lordship is right. Welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir.
My lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Here is newly come the court Laertes. The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes you shall not exceed him 3 hints.
Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will wait for him.
The king and queen and all are coming down.
My lord, you will lose this wager.
There's a special providence in the fall of the sparrow. The readiness is all.
Come, Hamlet, come. And take this hand from me.
I beg your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong. I here proclaim it was madness.
I stand aloof and will never reconcile it. Bring them the foils, young Osric.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. Come, begin.
Come, my lord.
1.
No.
Judgment.
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again. Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health.
I'll play this bout first. Let it bide a while. Come. Another hit. What say you?
A touch, I do confess.
The queen crosses my fortune.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you, pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
I do not drink yet, madam. By and by.
Have at you now.
Ah!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord? How is it, Laertes?
Unjustly killed with mine own treachery.
How fares the queen?
She swounds to see them bleed.
The drink, my dear Hamlet, the drink. It was poisoned.
Oh, villainy! The door be locked. Treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slave. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand envenomed. Thy mother's poisoned. The king's to blame.
The point, envenom too, envenom to thy work!
Oh, yet defend me, friends! I am but hurt!
Thou incestuous damned dame, is thy courtier? Drink off this potion. Follow my mother.
He is justly served. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make me free of it. I follow thee. Oh, I die, Horatio. I die, if thou ever loved me most, to report my story, be unsatisfied. I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite o'ercrows my spirit. The rest, silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and let the flights of the angels sing thee to thy rest.
To be or not to be?
That is the question.
How's everyone doing? Doing well? All right, enjoying the Shakespeare this day? Wonderful. Now, I did say earlier that I do teach people how to fight the sword. That's one of the things I do. I teach the use of many different styles of swords. I also teach chapters. I use many different things. And so what I have here are some practice swords, and I'd like to show you how we start off with lessons. So of course I'm going to need another volunteer. Let's see here. How about you in the back? Yeah, come on up. Yep, there we go. Let's see here. Yeah, well, let's go up on stage. Let's do that. There we are. All right, sword for you. What's your name?
Evanthea.
Evanthea. Excellent. All right. So, when you're fighting with the longsword, you have two hands. The most important part, of course, is your stance and your guard. So, face me. All right, put your left foot forward. All right, take the sword in 2 hands. All right, turn the edge so it's towards me. Raise the sword up over your head so the point's pointing up. There you go. Look between your arms. All right, so this is a god. You see, during this time there were fight masters and sword masters who traveled all over, and they taught the art of fighting. Now, one master is named Hans Talhofer. He was a German fight master. And he started to teach fighting from guard to guard, meaning that your attacks were a transition from one guard to another guard. All right? So this is one of his very first guards, and this is the guard of Von Tag, or from the roof. It is a high guard, and this guard lets you attack by a long, strong cut straight down like that. You notice that I stepped forward as I cut, because you need to add your body weight into these cuts, or the sword won't do what it's supposed to do. Just with cutting with my arm, won't give enough force to do any damage, but if I step with it, I can cut. All right, I would like you to do that. So from here, you're going to step forward, and you're going to cut down. Nice, there you go, excellent. And one more time. There you go. Don't kill the floor, it's not your opponent. All right, so one more time, and stop with your sword pointing towards the ground. There you go, nice, all right. Now, you see, she naturally went from one guard to another one of Talhofer's guard, right like that, there you go. And this is the Fool's Guard here. Now, he called this the Fool's Guard because, you see, her point is very low. It leaves her head exposed, and that would be a foolish thing to do because, of course, I could just chop into her head, and that would be bad for her. But that's not the reason it's called the Fool's Guard. It's called the Fool's Guard because it's foolish to attack this guard. And this is why. With her point low, if I were to step in to make my attack, so don't do anything, you notice I have to step here to make my attack. All right? If I attack her too far away, I'm going to miss her and just cut her a little bit. This is a spot where I would do a good deal of damage. What she has to do to stop me with this attack is all she has to do is raise her sword up about chest height pointed at me. There you are. And what will happen is in time, as I start my attack, I'll end up on the point of her sword before mine descends, and she'll stop my attack. It's called the Fool's Guard because it's foolish to attack this guard. So if she's in Fool's Guard, I'm in Von Tag. As I step forward, she brings it up, and I get stabbed. On my way down, it's foolish to attack this guard. You see that right there? Those are basic sword lessons. Another thing to think about is when we see sword fighting on television, I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like. Everything you see is wrong. Yes, that's not how sword fighting works at all. Because if you think about these swords here, they have 2 edges. When you watch sword fighting on television, everybody's only using the one edge to attack people with. Why? Well, they do it on television because it's easier to film. It's easier to tell a story. It's easier to see that I attack you, and then you attack me, and we use the one side of the sword, and it's back and forth, and that's a very easy story to tell. But in reality, you fight with both sides of the sword. So you can give a cut and take a little step towards the edge, but don't fall off. There we are. You can cut with the sword with the one edge, all right? And you can also cut with the back edge, just like that. What this looks like is this, where I cut with the back edge of my sword, and I would cut into her head on this side. Now I'll show you something very, very cool. Watch this. All right, so I want you to cut down. All right, so you're going to cut right here. And what happens is as she cuts down right there, I cut behind her sword, hitting her head and stopping her sword at the same time, using the back edge of the sword. You see that? And now, swing your sword hard over your head, like this. Nicely done. Everybody give her a round of applause. Good sword lesson. See? Isn't she sneaky?
Fine.
I told you she was sneaky.
Yeah, everybody gave me away right here.
Yeah.
Right here. They are clearly on your side.
They're on my side, yes.
A likely story.
Do we have more Shakespeare?
No, I thought I'd randomly bring out something completely unrelated for fun.
Oh, excellent. Puppets.
No, that's what you were for. Of course we have more Shakespeare. Are you ready? Yes. Well, very good, because we have Avon Grove presenting Twelfth Night.
Our story takes place in Illyria, an ancient and mythical country in southern Europe on the Adriatic Sea. Two twins, Sebastian and Viola, are separated in a shipwreck. Viola, believing her brother Sebastian to be dead, disguises herself as a man and takes a position as a page in the court of Duke Orsino, who is romantically pursuing the wealthy Countess Olivia, still mourning the sudden death of her brother. Living at Olivia's household is her drunken cousin, Sir Toby, with frequent visits by his goofy party friend, Sir Andrew Amici. Also at Olivia's house are the puritanical and fun-hating Malvolio, the maid, Maria, and the court fool, who comes and goes as he pleases, Bess. So our tale begins, with Viola being sent to Olivia's estate to deliver a love message to the Duke Orsino, whom Viola herself secretly loves. The scene takes place in the courtyard of the Countess Olivia.
Tell me where thou hast been. My lady will hang thee for thy absence.
Well, let her hang me. He who is well hanged in this world need to fear no colors.
That you may be bold to say in your foolery.
Well, God give them wisdom that have it, and those that are fools, let them use their talents.
Peace, you rogue. No more of that. Here comes my lady. Make your excuses wisely. Or Bess.
Wouldn't be thy will. Put me into good fooling. God bless thee, lady.
Take the fool away.
The lady bade take away the fool. Therefore I say again, take her away.
Sir, I bade them take away you.
Lady, I wear not motley in my brain. Give me leave to prove you a fool.
Make your proof.
Good Madonna, why mournest thou?
Good fool for my brother's death.
I think his soul is in hell, Madonna.
I know his soul is in heaven, fool.
The more a fool, Madonna, to mourn for your brother's soul being in heaven. Take the fool away, gentlemen.
What think you of this fool, Malvolio? Doth he not mend?
Yes, and shall do till the pangs of death shake him. Infirmity that decays the wise doth ever make a better fool.
God send you, sir, a speedy infirmity, for the better increasing your folly.
What say you to that, Malvolio?
I marvel your ladyship takes delight in such a barren rascal. Look you, he's out of his guard already.
Oh, you are sick of self-love, Malvolio. There's enough slander in an allowed fool, though we do nothing but rail.
Good Mercury, endue thee with leasing, for thou speakst well of fools.
Madam, there is at the gate a young gentleman much desires to speak with you. What is to be said to him? He's fortified against any denial.
Tell him he will not speak with me.
Has been told so.
What kind of man is he?
Why of mankind?
Of what personage in years is he?
Not yet old enough for a man, nor young enough for a boy. One would think his mother's milk were scarce out of him.
Let him approach. Call in my gentlewoman.
Gentlewoman, my lady calls.
Come, give me my veil. Throw it over my face. Of course. We'll once more hear Orsino's embassy.
The honorable lady of the house.
Which is she? Speak to me. I shall answer for her. Your will?
Most radiant, exquisite, unmatchable beauty. I pray you, sir, tell me if this be the lady of the house? For I never saw her. I would be loath to cast away my speech.
Why? What would you? What are you?
What I am and what I would are as secret as mankind. To your ears, divinity, and to any others, profanation.
Give us this place alone. We will hear this divinity.
Good madam, let me see your face.
You are now out of your text. But
We will draw the curtain. Let you see the picture. Look you, sir, such a one I was this present. Is not well done?
Excellently done, if God did it all.
'Tis in grain, sir, 'twill endure wind and weather.
My lord and master loves you.
How does he love me?
With adorations, with fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire.
Your master does know my mind. I cannot love him.
If I did love you in my master's flame, with such a suffering, such a deadly life, in your denial I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why? What would you?
Make me a willow cabin at your gate and call upon my soul. Write loyal cantons of love and sing them even in the dead of night. Halloo your name to the reverberate hills and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia!
You might do much. What is your parentage?
Above my fortunes, I am a gentleman.
Get you to your master. I cannot love him. Let him send no more. Unless you come to me to tell me how he takes it. Fare you well. I thank you for your pains. Spend this for me.
I am no feed post, lady. Keep your coin. It is my master, not myself, who lacks your compost. Farewell, fair cruelty.
Thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, action, spirit, do give me fivefold blazon. Not too fast. Soft, soft. Even so quick may one catch the plague. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eyes. Well, let it be. Oh, what ho, Malvolio?
Here, madam.
Run after that same peevish messenger, the county's man. The youth left this ring behind him. If he will come this way tomorrow, I'll give him reasons for it. Hide you, Malvolio.
Madam, I will.
Do I know not what, in fear to find mine eye too great a flatter for my mind. Fate, show thy force! Ourselves we do not owe. What is decreed must be, and be this so.
Back at Duke Orsino's palace, the Duke has a man-to-man talk with Viola about men's passions, as Viola struggles to keep her own feelings secret.
If music be the food of love, play on, good Cesario. That song we had last night, that old and antique song, methought it did relieve my passion much. Come, but one verse.
He is not here, so please your lordship, that should sing it.
Who was it?
Fest, the jester, my lord, a fool that the Lady Olivia's father took much delight in. He is about the house.
Fetch him and play the tune the while. Come hither. If ever thou shalt love, in the sweet pangs of it, remember me. How dost thou like this tune?
Gives the very echo to the seat where love is thrown.
Thou speak masterly. My life upon's, young though thou art, thine eye hath stayed upon some favor-letted loves. Hath it not, boy?
A little by your favor,
What kind of woman is't?
of your perfection.
Aye, fellow, that song we heard last night, it is old and plain and tallies with the innocence of love, like the old age.
Are you ready, sir?
Aye, prithee, sing.
Come away, and insects thy breath, let me be alone. Fly
pang of heart as you do for Olivia?
There is no woman sides, no that can bide the beating of so strong a passion as love doth give my heart. No woman's heart so big to hold so much. Make no compare between the love that a woman can bear me, and that I owe Olivia.
But I know.
What dost thou know?
My father had a daughter that loved a man. And with a fair, solemn love, she proclaimed him as her one.
What is her history?
A blank, my lord. She never told her love, and with a green and yellow melancholy, she sat like Patience on a monument, smiling at grief.
But dying thy sister of her love, my boy?
I am all the daughters of my father's house, and all the sons too, yet I know not. Sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye, that's the thing. Bring her this Julie. Tell her my love can take no place. Bide no delay.
Meanwhile, back at Olivia's house, Sir Toby, Sir Andrew, and Bess sing and dance the night away. This does not sit well with Malvolio.
Coach, Sir Andrew! Not to be abed after midnight is to be up betimes.
I know not, but I know to be up late is to be up late.
False conclusion. I hate it as an unfilled can. To be up late and to go to bed then is early. Let us therefore eat and drink. Maria, a stoup of wine.
Here comes the fool, I say.
Maria?
How now, my hearts? Didst ever see the picture of we three?
Welcome, ass. Let's have a catch.
By my troth, the fool has an excellent breast. Now a song.
Come on, here's sixpence for you. Let's have a song.
Will you have a love song or a song of good life?
A love song. A love song.
I am here not for good life.
Mistress mine, where are you roaming? Oh, stay and hear your true love's coming. That can sing both high and low. Trip no further, pretty sweeting. Journeys end in lovers meeting. Every wise man's son doth know. What is love? 'Tis not hereafter. Present mirth and present laughter. What's to come is still unsure. What's to come is still unsure. In delay there lies no plenty. Stay and kiss me, sweet and 20. Youth's a stuff will not endure. Youth's a stuff will not endure. Youth's a stuff will not endure. Youth's a stuff will not endure.
A mellifluous voice as I am true knight.
Contagious breath.
Very sweet and contagious, I faith.
To hear by the nose, 'tis dulcet and contagious. But shall we never want in beds indeed?
Oh, certain, let our catch be ballet. Begin, fool, it begins. Hold thy peace.
I may never begin if I hold my peace.
Good, I say. Come, begin.
Hold thy peace, I say.
Hold thy peace. Hold thy peace, my knave. Hold thy peace.
Eat eggs? What the caterwauling do you think? If my lady had not called up her steward Malvolio and made him turn you out of doors, never trust me.
Tilly Valley lady, there dwelt a man in Babylon.
My masters, are you mad?
Oh, what are you? Have you no wit, manners, nor honesty, but to gabble like tinkers at this time of night? Do ye make an alehouse of my lady's house? Is there no place?
No time in you!
But we were keeping time, sir, in our catches. Snick up.
Sir Toby, I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you, though she harbors you as a kinsman, she's nothing allied to your disorders.
Shall I bid him go?
What an if you do?
Shall I bid him go and spare not?
Oh, no, 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 you dare not.
Out of time, sir! Ye lie!
Art any more than a steward? Dost thou think because thou art virtuous, there will be no more cakes and ale? Go, sir, rub your chains with crumbs. Stupid wine,
Mistress Mary, if you harbored my lady's favorite anything more than contempt, you would not give means for this uncivil rule. She will know of it by this hand. Oh,
Go shake your ears!
Go shake your ears!
Come, I'll go burn some sack. 'Tis too late to go to bed now.
In time, Viola's twin brother Sebastian reappears alive and well and marries the happy Olivia. And the Duke Orsino finds love with the ecstatic Viola. Sir Toby and Maria even get married. What a life. And even though there is still some ill will between Malvolio and the revelers, we invited him to join in the dance too.
And I was a little tiny boy with the hay. Oh, the wind and the rain, a foolish thing was what a joy for the rain. It raineth every day.
But when I came to Mantis Hill, and all the winds and I guess whose lives and
For the rain, it raineth every day. But when I came, alas, to wipe with the hay, oh, the wind and the rain, by swaggering could I never thrive. For the rain, it raineth every day.
But when I came home to my bed with the hay, all the winds and the rain, and but still had just
For the rain, it raineth every day. A great while ago the world began great hay. Ho, the wind and the rain, that's all when a plague is done, and who strives to please you every day. Who strives to please you every day.
Thank you.
It's time for a very important performance. We call it lunch. options for lunchtime locations. Downstairs, where you have been using as a dressing room and green room space, but we shall also be opening the upstairs location, which has been set up for your use as well. So you may consult with the adults in your group to decide where you are going. Otherwise, do not be late coming back.
All right, everyone. Now, as you know today, we've had Shakespeare. We've had lots of fun. I've talked a lot about fighting, and I think it's about time that we do some brawling. All right. St. Catherine, choose me some brawlers.
Oh, we need some people to brawl upon this
That's
stage.
right.
Let me see here. Start all the way over here and work my way back. Let's see. In the black hat.
All right, come on up here. All my brawlers. I'll tell you what, you face the curtain. There we are. Let's see here. You with the back against the curtain. Face the curtain, back against the curtain. All right, a couple steps back. We're going to start off at distance. We're going to be that close. So, all right. Face the curtain. Face the curtain, back to the curtain. Face the curtain, back to the curtain. Back to the curtain. Going to the side, right? Okay, back this way. All right, take some more space. All right.
That one to come over here, that one to go over there.
Yeah, bow tie over this way. There we are. You go that way. Excellent.
There we go. All right.
All right. Now we ready? All right. Want your weight on your back foot? Arms out. And good. All right. They're ready.
All right. All right. Now, I should probably make a point on explaining exactly what a brawl is.
You said we're going to brawl.
We are going to brawl. Another term for a brawl is actually a bransel.
Oh, wait. A bransel?
A bransel.
That sounds not like fighting.
It is not fighting at all. Actually, in fact, a bransel is a dance.
Looks like you guys are dancing.
Now, this is a very simple dance. It's a very simple dance because these types of dances were done as it was one of the only opportunities that young men and young women had to meet each other in hopes of finding a husband or a wife. Now, as such, these dances were created so that they could be learned very, very quickly. And so we are going to teach this fine group up here a dance, and they will figure this out very quickly, and then they will perform it for you. It'll be very exciting. Now, in order to actually do the bransel, you must first learn the very basic step of the bransel. It's very, very easy. We're in fact going to go step, together, step, together, reverse, step, together, step, together. They're catching up.
Together, try once more. Step. Together. Step. Together and step. Together. Step. Together. Well done.
Now that was not terribly difficult. It was not terribly difficult. Do we have it under control?
I think we have it under control.
You have in fact just learned half of the dance, so a quarter of the dance. Now in fact you actually have learned half of the dance because we are not going to do a single bransel, but a double bransel.
Ooh.
So that means you're going to repeat those steps twice. So let's try that. We're going to ready and step together, reverse, step, together, step together, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Very good.
So we've mastered the counts, that's very important.
Yes. All right, excellent. Gentlemen, take one step to your right.
So you are facing the opening between each other.
Yes, these are all set. Aha!
Now the next part of this dance, you'll notice that I counted for you how the steps align to the count of the dance. That is to prepare you for the next part of this dance, which now will, instead of moving sideways, move forward, where you might become dangerously able to actually see the person close to you. But the timing of this step changes slightly, so I'm going to have everybody watch what we are doing. So we will have just finished that double branzel, and it continues with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Easy enough? Well, that's all right, because as soon as you get back to that point, you immediately stop the branzel step again. So it's very easy. Those are the only two things you're repeating. Do we want to try it once through?
Yes, we do.
All
Let's
right.
practice.
Let's try just that one piece first.
The moving forward piece.
The moving forward piece. So are we ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. I think we're almost there.
Now we should talk about the battling part, though.
We should talk about it, because there is actually still a bit of a brawl in all of this. Only it's not between the individual dancers, it is a battle between the musicians and the dancers. You see, just as this is rather repetitive, a dance for the people who are dancing it, it is also a little repetitive for the musicians. So the game that was often played is the musicians would start out slow and easy, allowing the dancers to learn and get comfortable with the dance. But then slowly through the process of playing, they would speed up. They would also occasionally do other strange choices. But eventually, the challenge was who could go faster, the dancers or the musicians. So in fact, there is a bit of a battle that will take place, and we will see just how well these dancers actually do.
The musicians are ready.
Are they?
They are. They've told me they're ready.
Well, we're going to do it all together. We'll figure it out.
Are you ready?
We are ready. Yes.
Here we go.
La
Well, guess what? It's time for awards! I promise, as long as you don't turn it off, you'll turn it on.
Gotcha. Hello. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, hello, everybody. Hi. Well, now it's time for the awards. My name is Jay Stone. I'm the Special Events Coordinator for the Chester County Intermediate Unit. Can we please just give everyone a round of applause for today's performances? You guys are all amazing. Now, did everyone have a fun time? Yeah? All right, great, because we had a fun time watching you guys as well. Thank you so much for entertaining us today. I hold this event near and dear to my heart because many moons ago I performed for the Shakespeare Festival with my school, Penn's Grove. I don't know if you guys are here today. No? Okay. But I hold this event near and dear to my heart. So you guys were just, again, amazing. I know they are all waiting the awards, but first and foremost, I'd like to thank a few people who made this event all possible. I ask if you please give a round of applause to all of your drama teachers. Next, can you please give a big round of applause to all of your parents and guardians? A round of applause to Uptown for being such amazing hosts in this amazing facility. And lastly, I would like to thank our staff. Like to say thank you to our revelers today, Sir Robert and Lady Catherine. Our videographers, Taylor Reeder and Will Soto, they're right behind here. This is also streamed live, and you can find this on CCI TV, and I will send all of the instructors out a link so you guys can watch your performances today. Our runner, Miss Marta Howard. Our curtain extraordinaire, Miss Ivani Ivanovich. And then your judges for today. Your judges for today. Miss Kate Campbell, Miss Gabby, and Miss Nadira. Okay, so now the moment you've all been waiting for, the awards. Yay. Okay, so we have the Don't Call It a Comeback Award, and that goes to Miss Wiley Basil. And I just wanted to let everyone know that I am sorry if I butcher your names. Don't yell at me. Just politely, just tell me that, the correction of it. But giving a round of applause for Miss Wiley. Okay. The Swashbuckling Swordplay Award goes to Grape Valley. And they gave me a lot of alliterations to pronounce, so bear with me too, okay? Okay. The Excellent Entourage Awards goes to Downingtown STEM. The Show Must Go On Award goes to Fred S. Engel. The Scene Stealing Soothsayer Award goes to Lemuel Jang. The Miss Sassy Pants Award goes to Mary Kate D'Ambrosio. The She's the Man Award goes to Alicia Wexler. The Master of Versatility Award goes to Ryan Rossi. The Good Grief Award goes to Kirtana Kumar. Okay. The Noteworthy News Team Award goes to Windsor. The ouch. That looked like it hurt award goes to Jackson Morris. The Three Stooges Award goes to Kayla White, Damian M., and Emma Jones. Three individual, yep. The Guy You Love to Hate Award goes to Nick D'Onofrio. The Melodramatic McDuff Award goes to Daniel D. The Creatively Convincing Catfight Award goes to Downingtown STEM. The Artistic Appearance Award goes to Fred S. Engel. The Props to the Crew Award goes to Avongrove. The Something Wicked This Way Comes Award goes to Great Valley. The Sprightly Spirit Award goes to Avanthia V. The I've Got Your Back Award goes to Miss Brooke Benjamin. One of the judges pointed out that backstage she saw that you were being very encouraging and yeah, to all of your cast. The Spot On Reporting Awards goes to Olivia Hack. The Powerful Persona Award goes to Dan Taylor. The Drama Queen Award goes to Miss Savannah Miller. The Magical Music Award goes to Avongrove. It was not only for your live performance, but it was also for the whole entire chorus, and you guys singing, everything was magical. The Powerful Projection Award goes to Sarah Diadizio. Two more, okay. The Fantastic Format Award goes to Windsor. Huh? What? Oh, maybe. I don't know. I did that one. Yeah. And that's all the awards for today. Thank you, guys. Again, you guys were really amazing, and I hope to see you next year.